Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, again, good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Just Tejasvi. Good morning, Veronica. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Niharika, Vahini. Good morning, Anak. I hope, good morning, Chaturja. I guess you sent the message on the other ID. So, again, I'll start the class. As always, good morning, Ajit, Santosh. With the same instruction that I did in the last class. As always, keep your videos off. And if you have to send a message, send it on this ID by the name of Astik. Simply Astik. The video is off, the audio is off, just meant for your messages. So please send me your messages over there. And I'll give some time for people to join because I guess the maths class ended a bit late, 5 minutes late. So I'll give 1 or 2 minutes still for everyone to join. Meanwhile, I would ask you some basic questions like did you see the DPP that is there in your I think app? Good morning, Deepak. I hope you everyone has seen the DPP and you have tried the DPP as well. Could you all access the DPP? Is it available on the app? Yes, no, no, yes, no replies. Yes, okay. So I must tell you that what we are doing again. Try to understand that we are not covering maths. This is not a maths class. We are only going to cover whatever, okay, Karthik, whatever things we think, I think is important for us to solve problems in physics. That is the only part that we are concerned with. Differentiation and integration. Good afternoon, Tanu. Differentiation and integration, you must understand that it will take an entire year, maybe 2 years, to cover differentiation and integration. We are going to do it in 2 or 3 classes. I hope you understand how much we are going to study. Now, coming on to that, let us have a quick recap of what we did in the previous class. In the previous class, we understood the meaning of the word derivative. What is the meaning of the word derivative or differentiation? Dy by dx. What is the meaning of that term? What does that tell me? What does that signify? Please, anyone? Can you tell me what is the meaning of the word derivative or differentiation? We had seen its meaning. What does that tell me? Tell us. What does dy by dx stand for? Anyone? It stands for, Niharika says, slope of the curve. Yes, you can call it slope of the curve. That is one way of, that is first way of understanding it. Karthik says rate of change of y with respect to x. Yes, Karthik, it is the rate of change of y with respect to x. It can also be understood as derivative of y with respect to x. You can also call it that way. Slope of tangent, yes, Niharika, dy by dx stands for the slope of tangent, which is same as the slope of the curve. And if I write it dy by dx at the point A, it means that we are trying to find out the slope at point A at any particular point. And we have also understood that slope of a curve can be different at different points. There is one particular curve whose slope is constant at all points. And what is that curve known as? What is that curve whose slope is constant at all points? Straight line, Niharika, and we will see it in today's class how it is constant and why it is constant. We'll go on to that. But again, a quick recap of whatever formula we did in the last class. And here I have the list. I hope you have the same notes with you in the app and you have gone through this. In the last class, we have seen if C is some constant, if it is a constant term, the derivative of that constant term has to be 0. Yes or no? We remember that? If y is a constant multiplied by x, derivative of constant multiplied by any function will be the function c will move out, the constant c will move out, and then we'll multiply dy by dx with that number. Do we remember we had done examples like derivative of 3x squared? How did we solve the derivative of 3x squared? We had taken 3 out and then we have found out the derivative of x squared and so on. We remember that? That was all about constant multiplied by some function of x. Then we did this particular example, derivative of x raised to the power of n, derivative of x raised to the power of n is equal to how much? What is the derivative of x raised to the power n? It is simply n times x raised to the power n minus 1. We must all remember this small formula. Now, as you can see, there are a lot many formulas over here. It's always required for your maths wala thing when you are going to study it in maths. But here in physics, we're only trying to concentrate on the problems that we are supposed to encounter. So we'll have to do this one. We already have u plus v ka derivative when we add the sum or the difference of two functions or three functions or four functions. We had done questions on that. We'll do one more question. Don't worry. We had done that. Now coming to the other formula, multiplication formula, we don't require for physics. So we'll leave it. The quotient formula, we don't require. We leave it. We'll leave all this because we don't require. That doesn't mean that you don't have to study it. You should, but it's not required right now for us in physics. We must know the derivative of sine x, d by dx of sine x. So this is one formula that we must remember. Derivative of sine x. What is the derivative of sine x? The derivative of sine x is cos x. So we must remember this one. Yes, Niharika, derivative of sine x is cos x. We must remember this one. Similarly, the derivative of cos x is what? What is the derivative of cos x? As given in the table, and it is very correct, it is minus sine x, Niharika. Please remember this minus sign. This minus sign is going to make a lot of difference. This minus sign is going to make a lot of difference. Remember this minus sign. So these two you must remember. Apart from derivative of x raised to the power of n, these two you must remember. That must be in your head at all times. You cannot forget it, whether you are a student of MPC or BIPC or formatal, any of those. Then this one also, if y is tan x, d by dx of tan x should be equal to, I have written tan theta, I should write it as tan x. That must be equal to sec square x. You must also remember these. So these are the some basic formulae that you must and you should remember. I won't ask you to remember more than these, but at least up till here, you should be able to remember these 5 or 6. Can you do that? Remember up till here. The table is already with you. Entire table, you don't have to remember all of these. You can simply remember the ones that I've told you, and we are done. And again, there are some problems over here, simple problems given in your sheet. And then here it is e to the power x. You may not do this question. Log of x, you may not do this question, but the rest of them, you should be able to do it on your own. That would be your homework for the next class, apart from what? Apart from what we are going to do and the DPP. Now, coming on to today's question, the first question that we are going to do is d by dx of this function, sine x plus cos x. So that is your first question. Can you solve it? Derivative of sine x plus cos x. Derivative of sine x plus cos x. So it will be written in this form. D by dx of sine of x plus cos of x. I'm waiting for answers. What are the answers to this one? What are the answers to this one? Derivative of sine x plus cos x. We have just now read the formula. What is the answer? Derivative of sine x plus cos x. Waiting for the answers. Cos x minus sine x, Niharika says. Yes, Niharika, you are correct. So basically what we got to do is, we need to find the derivative of sine x. The derivative of sine x is simply cos x. I'm not writing anything else. I'm just writing the answer. Then we look at the derivative of cos x. There is a plus sign in between, so I just put a plus sign here. Derivative of cos x is simply minus of sine x. And this happens to be our answer. Am I clear with this concept? Even knowing this much is good enough for us in physics. Are we together? Can I have some raised hands so that I understand that we have understood what we are discussing over here? Chaturya says clear. Anyone else? I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more for you to get some confidence. Okay, I'm getting some raised hands. I hope that everyone understands. So dy dx of 6 times cos x, 6 times cos x plus 3 times of x cubed, 3 times of x cubed. Now what is this? Waiting for answers. Derivative of 6 times cos x plus 3 times x cubed is just to revise what we had done in the last class so that we are ready to move ahead for this one. Ready to move ahead for this one. Waiting for answers. I only have 50 messages till now. Shameful that we are not responding. Minus of sin x plus 3x, wrong answer, Santosh. Minus of 6 times sin x plus 6x squared. 6x squared is wrong. So that means that we have not done enough practice of it. Minus 6 sin x plus 9x squared. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. I only got one correct answer. I will do it now. How will I differentiate 6 times cos x? This 6 will jump out. So it becomes 6. And then I find the derivative of cos x, which is minus of sin x. So the first term becomes minus of sin x. Then I go on to differentiate 3x squared. 3 will jump out. So 3 jumps out. Then I have to differentiate x cubed. What is the derivative of x cubed? N key value is 3. So it will be 3x squared. 3x squared. And that is your answer. Am I clear with this? Am I clear with this? Yes, Chaturya, that is the correct answer. Minus 6 times sin x plus 9 times x squared. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands? Okay, okay. Everyone understands this. Great. Now, I'll try to formulate a question which is not a question of maths, but it is more a question of physics. And this is the type of question that we are going to encounter. And the question is like this: if x is equal to 6 times of sin x, instead of sin x, I'll write it as sin t. Let me just undo it. 6 times of sin t minus 2 times of t squared plus 3t. If x is this thing and v is dx by dt, if v is dx by dt, you have to find v as a function of time. So it is written in this fashion. Find v as a function of time and v at t is equal to 0, t is equal to 1, and t is equal to 2. So this is the entire question. I would repeat the question. X is 6 times sin t minus 2 times t square plus 3t. V is dx by dt. You have to find v as a function of t and v at t is equal to 0, 1, and 2. This might look like a very big problem, but you must understand it's a very simple one if you understand the basic concept. Now, just for your common knowledge, common sense, what could this x stand for? Since I have talked about physics, what would this x mean actually in physics? This x will probably stand for displacement. And what would this v stand for in physics? This v will stand for velocity probably. So this is the question now. Yes. Sir, how sin x become cos x? But that is the formula. We can't go into the depth of it. Because to go into the depth of it, I will have to expand sin x. And that is beyond the class of physics. So I won't be able to tell you that. It's just the formula that you remember. That's it. Derivative of sin x is cos x. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Just remember that. So we have this question. Do we have answers here? Do we have answers here? X is 6 sin t minus 2t square plus 3t. I hope you have written the question. Anybody with an answer? T is equal to 0, V is equal to 9. Vijay has given me an answer. Okay, Vijay, I don't know the answer. I have just formulated the question. Good, you have got an answer. That's great. That means you understand what you got to do. You might make a mistake. Doesn't matter. Mistakes are there to be made. Problem is, and the good thing is that you should understand what mistake you have made. And that is what we need to understand. So I will go ahead and solve this one for you. How will I solve it? So I know the value of x. First I write x. X was, if I remember correctly, it was 6 sine t. And what? 6 sine t minus 2t square plus 3t. 6 sine t minus 2t square plus 3t. That was my x. To find out v, I must differentiate x with respect to time. Everyone knows how to do it. 6 sine t, 6 will come out. Sin t ka derivative will be cos t. So it will be 6 cos t. 6 cos t minus 2 will come out, 2. And what is the derivative of t square? The derivative of t square is 2 times of t. 2 times of t plus 3t. What is the derivative of 3t? 3 will come out. Derivative of t is 1. So this will be 3. So I can write velocity as 6 times of cos t. Now cos t might create a problem. Minus 4t plus 3. Everyone got up till here? Did we get here? Did we get up till here? Can I have some raised hand? How many people got till this step? How many people got till this step? 8, 10, 15, only 15. Okay, I'm getting some message from message. Okay, so we got up till here. Now, what is this? What is this that we have achieved? This is v as a function of t. We have got up till here v as a function of t. Now, remember what was the question asking? That was the first step. That was the first answer, v as a function of t. Now, the second one was find v. Second question was find v at t is equal to 0. Find v at t is equal to 0. So what you got to do now? It's very simple. Just put the value of t as 0 and you will get the answer. So v at 0, so I'll write 0 here. V at 0 would be 6 times cos of 0. I have substituted the value of t here. Minus 4 multiplied by t. T is 0. Plus, there is no t over here, so it will be simply 3. Now remember cos of 0, what is the value of cos of 0? What is the value of cos of 0? Cos of 0 is 1. So this is 6 multiplied by 1, it is 6. This is 0, 6 plus 3, and my answer is 9. This is how I arrive at the result. Value of v at t is equal to 0. Do we understand this? Do we understand this? So basically what we have done, nothing. First, we have calculated v, which is derivative of x. We get the value of v in terms of t, that is known as v as a function of t. Put the value of t as 0. Substitute it, find the values, get the answer, stay happy. Shall we move ahead? Now, the second part of the question was find when t is 1, find the value of v. So, what do you do now? Just put v, the value of t as 1. So, v will become v1, velocity at 1, will be equal to 6 times cos of 1. Now, you may not know the value of cos of 1. Doesn't matter. I am not looking for an answer. I am looking for the concept that you understand what to do. So, 6 times cos of 1 minus 4 multiplied by 1 plus 3. So your final answer will be 6 times cos of 1 minus 4 plus 3. Minus 4 plus 3 will be equal to minus 1. So this will be your answer of velocity at 1. Yes, 6 times cos of 1, Karthik. You have missed 1 here. So that is the answer for t is equal to 1. Similarly, you can put t is equal to 2 and get the answer for t equal to 2. Am I clear? Am I clear with this concept? Can I have some raised hands and yeses and no? I only have 80 messages till now. That's very sad. We understand this what we are doing, right? So we understand the context that this is going to come. Yes, Chaturya, when you put t equal to 2, I think that would be the answer that you have given me. So the concept is finding the derivative and how are we going to apply it in physics. We are moving ahead. If there is a doubt, you can still raise it. I'm already here. I'm here. I will reply to your doubt. Now look at one thing that we had seen, that slope of a straight line is constant, but that may not be true for all other curves. Now let us take an example for this. So I make one question. I have y is equal to 3x plus 5. Y is equal to 3x plus 5. Now most of you would know that this is the equation of a what? What does this represent? Anyone? What does it represent? This is the equation of a straight line, Santosh, and linear equation of a straight line, Hannah. And you must also know that we can compare it to y is equal to mx plus c, and then m will be known as a slope. Do we remember this? Y is equal to mx plus c. M is the slope, and the slope of this thing would be 3. Yes or no? Do we remember? Y is equal to mx plus c. No one remembers y is equal to mx plus c? Yes, okay. So the standard equation of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. Now, if you can compare this equation with the equation that I have given, you would be very simply understanding that the value of m here is 3 and the value of c here is 5. Yes or no? Now, you must also know, or you must be knowing, that m stands for the slope. Yes or no? That is, m stands for slope of the line. And I've already told you that the slope of this straight line is constant. Now let us see. Let us apply what we have learned in the previous class and let us apply it here. So the question is, y is equal to mx plus c. Find dy by dx. Now do you understand the meaning of dy by dx? Do you understand the meaning of dy by dx? Dy by dx is the slope. Yes or no? Dy by dx is the slope. Yes or no? Raise hands. Yes. Find dy by dx at x is equal to 0, 1, and 2. So basically, the question says that you are given y as a function of x. You are supposed to find dy by dx, which we now know is the slope at x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 1, and at x is equal to 2. Now this question is similar to what we did here. We first found v as a function of t, and then we put the value of t as 0 and t as 1 and got our answers. So I'm expecting the same thing from you now. You're given y as a function of x. You're supposed to find dy by dx at x is equal to 0, 1, and 2. Time has already started. I'm waiting for answers. And let us see what inference can we draw from here. You want to draw an inference, you want to draw a result, which you already know. We'll try to again understand it in the form of a question so that it remains with us wherever we go. You cross 100 responses. You must go somewhere around 400. Okay, anyone with an answer? Answer to this one. 8. Jay Shankar says 8. I'm afraid, Jay Shankar, you are not correct. It is, what is it? 8 is not the slope. Answer. 5 at 0. Wrong, Santosh. 5 is the value of y at 0. I did not ask the value of y at 0. Listen to the question. You are not looking at the question. Find dy by dx. Slope. That's the question. Look at the question first. Don't be in a haste. We're not running short of time now. We have enough time. Find dy by dx at x is equal to 0, 1 and 2. Okay, if you can't do it, I'll do it. Shall I do it? X is equal to 1, 4, 8 d by d. I don't know, Chaturya, what you are doing. 1.5 wrong, Karthik. 1.5 is wrong. 8 is absolutely wrong, Karthik. 5 is absolutely wrong, Karthik. 3 is the answer, Vijay. That's correct. 3 is the slope. You already know the slope. M. Yes, I. It is 3. Y is equal to mx plus c. M is the slope. It has to be 3. And it is 3. How do we do it? So I find the derivative of y with respect to x. So derivative of y with respect to x, dy by dx. I will differentiate. I will differentiate the first term. What is the derivative of 3x? What is the derivative of 3x? 3 will jump out. 3 jumps out. What is the derivative of x? The derivative of x is 1. So dy by dx becomes 3. Now I find the derivative of 5. What is the derivative of 5? 5 is a constant. The derivative of a constant is 0. So dy by dx becomes 3. Are you getting my point? Everyone? Everyone getting my point? What I wanted to make? Yes, sir. Chaturya says, why were you getting 5 and 0s and 8s in answers? You were getting the value of y, beta. I was not asking the value of y. I was asking the value of dy by dx. Now see, there is no x here. In this derivative, there is no x. No x. So at x is equal to 0, if you put, there is no x. So dy by dx will still remain 3. Slope remains 3. Slope does not change. Are you getting my point? At x is equal to 0, dy by dx is still 3. There is no x in dy by dx. At x is equal to 1, what is the value of dy by dx? Again, nothing has changed. It is still 3. There is no x. At x is equal to 0, it is 3. At x is equal to 1 is equal to 3. At x is equal to 2, it also will be equal to 3. The slope remains constant, and that is what we learned in the very first class on slopes, on graph. Slope of a straight line is always constant. Are you getting what I wanted to infer from this entire exercise that we have done? Just to make you understand that slope of a straight line will always remain constant. It doesn't change. At any point, it is same. Am I clear? Okay, that was a straight line whose slope is constant. Now let me change the equation. I'll move on to the next screen. I hope everyone is clear with this. Can I have some raised hands to understand that we have understood this concept? Okay, if anyone has a problem still, the chat room is open for you. The chat is open for you. You can put your questions over there. Now let us move on to one more question and let's see so that it remains in our head. Y is equal to 3x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 3. I have changed the equation. I have changed the equation. Now this is no longer a straight line. Now this is no longer a straight line. The question remains, find dy by dx. Find dy by dx. Now we understand what is dy by dx. Find dy by dx at x is equal to 0, 1, and 2. Same question in terms of values of x. But you must understand that I have changed the equation. I have changed the equation, waiting for your answers. Chaturya is already there with an answer 6. What is the 6? What is 6? From where did you get 6? At what value? Give me correct answers, beta. If you don't give me correct answers, I am not going to accept them. 0, 6, and 12, Hinduja, I think you are on the right track, probably. 0, 6, and 12. For x is equal to 0, it is 0. It might be. For x is equal to 1, it might be 6. For x equal to 2, it might be 12. But I'm still not convinced. I'm still not convinced. I'm still not convinced. You are not looking at the question properly. You're not able to understand the question properly. Think about the question. See, Karthik says 6x plus 2. What is 6x plus 2, beta? 6x plus 2, if you are talking about 6x plus 2, that is dy by dx. That is our first step. First step to find dy by dx. How will I get the value of dy by dx? We have done this so many times now. We have done this so many times now. You have to find the derivative of this thing. Please don't ask me how. I will straight away write the answer as 6x. If you don't understand it, go back to the lecture and see it. 6x is the derivative of this thing. What is the derivative of 2x? Now it must be on your fingertips. Now it must be on your fingertips. The derivative of 2x is 2, right? So my derivative dy by dx becomes 6x plus 2. We agree on this? We agree on this derivative? How I have calculated this derivative? Obviously, the derivative of 3 I have not calculated because it is 0. So there is no point of writing 0. So I've just omitted 0. Now we were supposed to find out the derivative at 0, 1, and 2. Now I put the value of at x is equal to 0. Now see the difference between this equation, which is the derivative equation, and this one, which was the previous question. In the previous question, as you can see, we only had 3. There was no term of x. Coming on to this one, there is a term of x coming in this equation. Now I put x is equal to 0. Now I put x is equal to 0. What is the value of dy by dx? What is the value of dy by dx at x is equal to 0? It is coming as 2. Yes. Simple maths. Simple putting the values of x, getting the answer, staying happy. Now you put the value of x as 1. Put the value of x as 1. Yes. So 6 into 1 is 6 plus 2 is 8. My derivative becomes 8. My derivative or the slope becomes 8. Are we getting this point? Some raise hands. Some just say suppose. Okay. Okay, great. Now you put x is equal to 2. Tell me the answer of the derivative. Tell me the answer of the derivative. What is the answer of derivative? Put x equal to 2. So 12 plus 2, it becomes 14. As you can see, the slope is not constant. It is 2 here. It is 8 here. It is 14 here. What is happening to the slope? Is it constant? Is the slope constant? That is the next question. Is the slope constant? No. What is happening? If something is not constant, it might be increasing. It might be decreasing. What's happening here? It is increasing. Yes. Remember this. It is increasing. This thing is going to come after some class where we are going to do some questions where we have to understand the slope is increasing. And then we might not even solve the question. Just by looking at it, we should be able to tell whether it is increasing or it is decreasing. Am I clear with this concept of increasing, decreasing, slope constant, slope variable? Yes? Great. That takes us to the next thing. And the next thing has a very nice tune to it, very nice heading. It is known as higher order derivatives. Higher order derivatives. Now, why we have to do this higher order derivative? Because we'll have to use it in physics some point in time. Higher order derivatives. What is this higher order derivatives? What is this higher order derivative? Just see, simple maths. So we had y is equal to f of x. We started from here. Yes or no? Yes or no? Y is a function of x. That is what we have been doing. Y is this thing, y is that thing, v is this thing, x is that thing, y is equal to fx. Now, dy by dx is the slope of this curve. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, this can be written as, if you remember, I told you it is f dot x. I told you one more way of writing it, f dot x. Please check your last class, f dot x. Now, this is known as first derivative of y with respect to x. I also told you that. Yes or no? Can I have some yeses and no's? This was the first derivative of y with respect to x. Now, I would request you to apply some common sense and tell me, if this is the first derivative, what would be the second derivative? The second derivative would be the higher order derivative. How will I get the second derivative? How will I get the second derivative? Anyone, any idea? How will I get the second derivative? Anyone? I'm waiting for answers. Anyone? How will I get second derivative? This is the first one. How will I get the second derivative? No one? I will get the second derivative by differentiating or by finding the derivative of the first derivative. So derivative of the first derivative becomes my second derivative. How will I write it? The function was written as fx. First derivative was written as f dot x. How will I write the second derivative? Maths and physics are very logical. So I'll write it as f double dot x. Are you getting my point and the nomenclature that we use? Are you getting my point and the nomenclature that we use? Some raised hands, some yeses, some no's, something. Okay. So this will be known as second derivative. Second derivative of y with respect to x. Now, instead of writing it like this, which is too cumbersome, it becomes too big, we can write it like this. We can write it like this. We can also write it like this. d2y by dx squared. Now, don't tell me, sir, why 2 is coming with d in the numerator and y2 is coming with x in the denominator. I don't have any reason for that. Maybe the reason comes from here. It is dx, so it becomes dx squared. There is only one d over here. That's why it becomes d squared. That is not a correct reason. This is the way it is written. Are we getting my point? There is no reason for it to be written like this. It is written like this. We understand this? d2y by dx squared is the second derivative of y, which is f double dot x. That is the way it is written. That is the way it is written. That is the way it is written. Okay? Now the next question would be, Sai, what will be the next question? Or when I say Sai, I mean every one of you. What would be the next question? What would be the next step? I had y. I found out the first derivative. Then we talked about the second derivative. What should be next? What should be next? The third derivative. Yes, Sana, third derivative. How will I get the third derivative? That is the next question. How will I get the third derivative? Just keep the sequence going. Just keep the yes from second. Yes. So I had the second derivative, and second derivative was d2y by dx squared. I find the derivative of this gentleman, d by dx of this gentleman. How will I write it? On similar lines, I will write it like this. First, I write it like x triple dot x, f triple dot x. Yes, beta. It is not 1, 1, 1. It is dot, beta. It is not 1. What I'm writing here is not 1. It is dot. A comma. You can call it a comma. You call it dot. You can call it a comma. F triple dot x. F triple dot x. Yes, Santosh. Or I can write it as d3 cube d3y by dx cube, and that becomes the third derivative. And so on. Yes, Yashandra, you are right. Don't ask me why it is like this, why it is like this. This is the convention that we use. Fourth derivative, fifth derivative, and so on. We can find out any number of derivatives. Am I clear with this concept of higher order derivatives? Some raise hands. I don't have any raised hand. Okay, great. 10, 12. Okay, we understand this. First derivative, second derivative, third derivative, fourth derivative. We don't have to go that much. In physics, please remember, in physics, kahan tak jana hai? Till where we should go in physics? Physics will only require at the minimum or at the maximum to go from zero derivative to second. We don't require more than second. So we'll not go into much higher debates. Why? Because see, this is not a maths class, this is a physics class. We only require second derivative. And why we require second derivative? The answer I'll give it in this class. Maybe the questions we'll do in the next class. I'll give you the answer for second derivative in this class, probably. Shall I give you a question now? Shall I give you a question now? Are we ready for the question? Are we ready for the question? Okay. Now this question will encompass everything that we have learned till now. Be very careful. If you do this question, that means you have done all the questions before it. You have done all the questions before it. This question, everything is done. So I have y is equal to 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4. I have y as a function. And this is the function. You have to find dy by dx. You have to find dy by dx and d2y by dx squared and d2y by dx squared at x is equal to 0, 1, 2. Can you do it for me? I have given you a function. Y is equal to 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4. You have to find dy by dx and d2y by dx squared at x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2. Your time has already started and I guess I must be getting some answers. Some people have raised hands. Let me see who has. Maruti, Karthik, Sai, if you have any doubts, please raise them. This is the time to raise your doubts. I've seen your raised hands. Now raise your doubts. I'm waiting for answers for the same thing. And I hope you understand what we are going to do here. dy by dx, d2y by dx squared. I've given you 3 points. Just give me 1 point or 2 points and that will make me understand that you have understood the concept. Hinduja has given me an answer, but I don't know the correct answer. I only get the correct answer when dy by dx at 0 is equal to 0. Santosh, very nice way of writing it. But yes, it might be 0. Sai, I think your derivative is wrong. See, you cannot make silly mistakes. 9 into 2 plus 2 into x, correct? I think that's not just 2 into x. Again, you are making mistakes in finding out the derivative. Okay. Let me find dy by dx. Let me find dy by dx. How will I find dy by dx? I will find the derivative of this. 3 will jump out. Then it will be derivative of x cubed. Derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. So the answer for the first one will be 9x squared. We agree on this? Yes. Plus 2 will jump out. Derivative of x squared is 2x. 2 into 2, 4. So it will be 4x. It would be 4x. What is the derivative of 4? Derivative of 4 is 0. So this is my answer for dy by dx. Now I can find its value. At x is equal to 0, what is the value? Put x as 0. The answer is 0. We get this? Yes. Now you can find the value at x is equal to 1. Put the value of x as 1 here, x as 1 here. What is the answer now? 13. The value is 13, correct. Now put the value of x as 2. Get me the answer. What is the answer at x is equal to 2? 2 square is 4, 36. 36 plus 8, I think is 44. So the answer for dy by dx is 0, 13 and 44. Am I clear? How did I do it? Very simple. Keep your calm. Long breathe. Relax. See that you don't make a mistake. Put the values, get the answer. Now the second question arises. How will I get the value of this gentleman? d2y by dx squared. And it is not any rocket science. We need to differentiate this equation now. We differentiate this equation, it becomes d2y by dx squared. Yes or no? If we differentiate this equation, it becomes d2y by dx squared. Yes or no? Yes. Now I differentiate this equation. 9 will jump out. X squared ka derivative is 2x. 9 into 2 is 18. So the answer will be 18x. What is the derivative of 4x? 4 will jump out. Derivative of x is 1. So it will be 18x plus 4. 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. So second derivative would be 18x plus 4. Are we there together in the same universe? Do we understand how I've created the second derivative? Yes, Anjali, we understand this, or you have a doubt? We have understood this. Now I can put the values of x. At x is equal to 0. At x is equal to 0, what is the second value of, what is the value of derivative? Second derivative, x becomes 0. So this becomes 4. Second derivative becomes 4. At x is equal to 1, put the value of x as 1. The second derivative becomes 22. Yes, Chaturya, you are correct. I think you are correct. At x is equal to 3, or x equal to 2, put the values 36 plus 4, I think is 40. The second derivative becomes 40. Am I clear? Am I clear with this? You understand this? Second derivatives? Find the first derivative, find the second step. Differentiate it, right? Okay. Okay. Can I give you one more? Now we'll try to get into those questions which are more likely to come, may not be in the, okay. So I'll try to formulate a question and let us see how good or how bad we do. So this is the question. Let me think. Okay. If x is equal to, and now please remember, this might be a question in physics. If x is equal to 2t square minus 4t plus 1, v is equal to dx by dt, and a is equal to dv by dt. Find a when v is equal to 0. Is it looking too confusing? Is it looking too confusing? Is the question looking too confusing? What might x stand for here? What would x stand for here? Any ideas? Anyone, any ideas? What would x mean? What would x mean? Displacement, correct, Chaturya. Displacement. What would t mean? Anjali, anyone? T will mean time. Very nice, very nice. So we are getting onto the physics part. Great. What would v mean? Velocity. Great, Chaturya. Great, great, great. So we are studying physics, but we are still in mathematics. What is A? What is A? Any idea about it? What is it? Acceleration. Yes, yes, yes. So V is the first derivative of x. Are you getting my point? V is the first derivative of x. Are you getting my point, everyone? Raise hands. Yes. What about A? A is the first derivative of V. A is the first derivative of V. How can I say the same thing in terms of x? A is the which derivative of x? A is the which derivative of x? Second derivative. Yes, Jaya Shankar. So instead of writing it like this, I could have also written A is equal to d2x by dt square. Is everyone getting my point? How are we going to match maths with physics? Why are we doing the second derivative? What is the reason of doing the second derivative, and where it is going to help us? Where it is going to help us? I said that I'll give you a reason where second derivative is going to come. This is one of the reasons where second derivative is going to come, but this is not the only reason. Second derivative is going to come one more case, which we are going to discuss probably in the next class. Can I have some solutions to the question? Now this question may be divided into different parts. First, you have to find V. That would be the first step. Then find when V is 0. Then find A. And then find A when V is 0. Remember one thing, beta, which I always tell. Yes, Satori, that is correct. Which I always tell all my kids. My kids means my students. Every complicated problem, which you think is very complicated, is actually made up of very, very small problems put together. Very, very small problems put together. Small problems put together, it becomes a complicated problem. It is same like if you have a string and you make some simple knots in the string, and after 3 or 4 knots, when you look at the string seems to be having a very complicated knot. But that knot is not complicated because it is made up of small knots. Open one knot and you will get the string back. That is what tough question, so-called tough questions in physics or everywhere in life is meant. Look at the small problems, solve the smaller ones, you will solve the bigger problem. I'm still getting some messages on this chat. Krutika, Krushita and Lakshmi Sai. Beta, please send me a message on the other ID. I don't really check this ID. So you have the other ID with the name of Astix. Simply Astic. Please send your messages on that ID. I hardly check this one. So anyone with an answer, first you have to find the value of V. First you have to find the value of V. I think some of you have done this. I think some of you have got the value of V. What is the value of V? V is dx by dt. V is dx by dt. You have to find the derivative. I'm not going to tell you how to find the derivative. The derivative of x with respect to t will be 4t minus 4. We understand this? 4t minus 4. Yes, Jayashankar, it is 4t minus 4. 4t minus 4 is the correct one. Now, where is V0? For V to be 0, we can get the value of 1. For V is equal to 0, this implies 4t minus 4 is equal to 0. It is a very simple mathematical equation. That tells me the value of t will be equal to, you can get the value of t. This is a 6th standard question, 5th standard maybe, 4th standard maybe. T is 1. So there was a small question hidden here, which was not asked. There was a small question hidden here, which was not asked. Can anyone tell me what was the small question? Could you find out that small question which was hidden in this question, which nobody asked? -1, Vijay. I'm sorry, but -1 cannot be the answer. Answer is 1. Please look at the equation. 4t minus 4. To find t, when, Hannah? When? What t? Which t are we talking about? Yes, Vijay, that's correct now. Which t are we talking about? To find t, when? When to find t? Time is not given. Yes, Saidarshan. So there was a question hidden here. You have to first find t. When to find t? Where to find v? When v is 0. Yes, correct. You had to find t when v was 0. That was a hidden question, which was not asked. But you had to find it out. Else you cannot solve the entire question. So there was a question hidden that you first have to find t when v is 0. When v is 0. Velocity is 0. I told you v is velocity. That means when the body, or whatever thing this is, it's stopping. When the velocity becomes 0, the body stops. A very elegant question of making you understand that when v is 0, when velocity is 0, the particle can still have acceleration. Yes, Santosh, you are still getting acceleration here, but the particle is stopped. Putting physics and maths together, and they gel very, very nicely. Is everyone getting my point? My thought process here, why we did this question, and what are the hidden agendas here, hidden questions here? What does it mean in physics? Are we getting this point? Can I have some raised hands? That was the entire reason of giving you this question. That was the entire reason that you to understand the physics behind it. When the same question comes in physics, don't panic. Take a deep breath. We've already done this. But we have already done a hidden agenda. We have still not arrived at the result. We have to get the value of A. We have to get the value of A. To get the value of A, I have to differentiate V once again. Let us do that. Let us do that. So my A is nothing but dV by dt is already given. Now we differentiate this one, 4t minus 4. I'm not going to tell you how to differentiate it. The answer would be 4. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. T acceleration is 4. Now you can see there is no t coming here. There is no t. No t. There is no t over here. That means this acceleration is. That means this acceleration is constant. Are you getting my point? This acceleration is constant. This body is moving with a constant acceleration. Can I have some raised hand? How physics and maths are coming together and helping each other out. How physics and maths are coming with each other and helping each other out. Acceleration is constant. So whatever be the time, what will be the value of acceleration at t is equal to 0? The answer is 4. What is the value of t? What is the value of acceleration at t is equal to 1? The answer is 4. Doesn't change. It is a question of constant acceleration. Are we getting this point? Do we understand the premise of doing this entire question? Got it? Do we understand this? So we started with a question that was supposedly a question of maths. We put something that made it a question of physics, and we understood a very nice concept of physics, that even if v is 0, even if velocity is 0, the particle can have acceleration. You might be asked a question. The velocity of a particle is 0. Can it have acceleration? Yes, it can have acceleration. Example is here. We understand this. So every question that we do, it always has a hidden agenda. If we have done this question, that means we have solved everything before that. How many of you could do this question completely? If anyone could do it completely and understood what the question meant, hats off. Anyone could do it completely and understood the entire essence that I have spoken. I am speaking from 20 years of experience of what I have in physics. If you can understand the entire question and you got the entire question correctly with all the concepts, you have done exceedingly well. Anyone on that category? Anyone in that category? Entire question, spot on, everything understood. Well, we'll come to it. Don't worry. Don't worry. This is just a first or second class that we are doing in, even we have not started with physics, we are still on maths. But if you can develop this understanding of how we relate things, that is what I want. And then you can solve all these questions just by yourself. Before leaving, before finishing this class, I'll try to give you one more question on similar lines. I'll give you one more question on similar lines, which you solve and send me the answers in the Telegram group. I will be checking the Telegram group. Again, I'll formulate a question. If x is equal to, what should I give? 3t square minus 3t plus 4, v is equal to dx by dt, a is equal to dv by dt, find number 1, v at t is equal to 0 and 1. Find number 2, acceleration at t is equal to 0, t is equal to 1, and v is equal to 0. Are we getting this question? Do we understand the essence of this question? I've given you x as a function of t. X may be displacement. That is what I meant. X is displacement, t is time, v is velocity, a is acceleration. You have to find velocity at t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1. You have to find acceleration also at t is equal to 0, t is equal to 1, but also at V is equal to 0. So that is the question, and with this question, I would end today's session. I hope you have enjoyed this session. You have understood the gelling and coming together of physics and maths and how these two help each other in solving problems. And I would be looking forward to seeing your solutions in the Telegram group. If you have any doubts, you can come up to me and ask me. I'm here. Bye bye, beta.